You know what time it is. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Yes, that's right, it is indeed still beer festival time, and it will come as very little surprise to those of you who watch the channel regularly that there's going to be a Blue Monkey beer or two included in this little mini-series surrounding the Nottingham Beer Festival, which is happening as we speak. So, what's this one? Well, this is a part of their new craft beer line, which is why it doesn't look like their traditional bottles and have the normal Blue Monkey logo, which looks like that. But as I say, the reason for that is because this is part of their new craft beer range. Now, last week, nearly 2 weeks ago now, I went to the release, the launch party, I guess, for these new craft ranges. Link up there if you want to see the video all about that. I did do mini reviews of lots of beers at that event, but this one I did not. So this is a first time tasting this for me, which is why I wanted to do it on this prestigious occasion of the Nottingham Beer Festival. So this from Blue Monkey is a New Zealand Pale Ale at 4.2%. Before we break into it, of course, here is a quick look at the can, showing off that new fantastic kind of their new craft motif, if you like, with the ape, gorilla, whatever you want to call him there. And this one's got a bit of a purple hint to the label. It's kind of hard to show off the label in this light, but you get the idea. And we'll spin that one around. Info on the back, which we'll go on to later. There you go. That is the original logo, just there at the top. But yeah, 4.2% New Zealand Pale Ale. Let's get into it. Since we seem to be going through beer festival glasses this week, this one is from my most recent beer festival visit, Derby BeerCon 2022. So, but I thought that would be a nice shape, really, just for this beer style. If we can get rid of the dog hair. It would appear every glass I pick up this week has something in it. So, there we go. In the glass, then, has to be said, it looks very similar to their American Hazy. So whether the malt profile is similar with different hops, I don't know, but it's got a bit of haze to it, but not a lot. It's a nice, I mean, it's hard to get it across on camera as always. If I point it, if I do a little angle tilt, that gives you a slightly better idea of what we're looking at, but it's actually more yellow hued than orange in real life. It's got a little bit of carbonation spritzing up. It's got a solid 1 and a bit finger, pretty foamy looking white head on it, which looks very inviting, it has to say. Yeah, let's get into the aromas. I mean, it's instantly New World beer, if you like, and by that I mean American inspired high hopped pales and IPAs. It's got that distinctly grapefruity citrus aroma. It smells like it's going to have a good lathering of bitterness, and if you deep down real deep, there's just a little bit of a dank resinous nature to it as well. To be honest, it smells pretty appealing. Let's get into it. Cheers. Oh, wow. So before I drank that, when I was just taking in those aromas, I was a little bit worried because at the same time as launching this beer, Blue Monkey also launched a New Hampshire pale, I think it was, basically a New England pale, a NEPA. But it was, well, it was fantastic, to be honest. It was maybe not quite as intensely juicy, and it had a bit more bitterness than some, but I kind of like that. It kept it a bit more of a better rounded beer. The aroma, from what I recall of that beer, nearly 2 weeks ago now, was very similar, and I was worried that this was going to be, yeah, just that with a slight difference. But I can say with absolute confidence, despite maybe having the aroma of a more US inspired brew, the flavour profile on this is distinctly New Zealand. It's got super soft mouthfeel, light carbonation, which, to be honest, I'm a big fan of in this style. And whilst it does have those grapefruity and citrus notes, they're really, really subtle, and big cherry and stone fruit flavours actually what set this apart. More so the stone fruits, to be honest. Peach, plum, nectarine, apricot. It's just, yeah, that is a damn fine beer. Let me top that up and we'll do a quick top to bottom taste test. It's all gone already, look. So, initially, the thing that stands out straight away is that luxurious mouthfeel. It's soft, it's pillowy, it's not thick, but it's definitely deluxe. It's not a thin beer, even if it is quite a light-bodied and refreshing one. That sounds a bit contradictory, but when you try it, it will make sense. And second phase, just a tickling of hot bitterness. You know it's there, you know it's fresh, you know it's real, but it's not going to smack you around the back of the teeth, if that makes any sense at all. It's really got a beautifully balanced bitter profile to it, and that middle phase dulls down a little bit, not a huge amount of flavour there. The pillowiness of that texture, that mouthfeel carries on, and it's just starts to introduce the idea of some less bitter fruits, less acidic fruits, that stone fruit element, which nicely lifts up where you would normally get a big flavour crash with a lot of, certainly with this beer style. It's not so much of a crash, it's just a gentle eruption, which sounds like very much the same thing, but it is. The contrast is much less stark than it is with some beers. Some beers it's kind of very bitter up front and you get absolutely nothing at all, and then you get this huge punch of flavour, which can be impressive, but only if the beer is good enough to do that. This doesn't need to do that, because honestly it is so well balanced, just kind of reintroduces all those stone fruits again, but bigger, brasher, better, and there's a nice steady trajectory into that kind of full flavour crescendo, which is about the ponciest thing I think I've ever said. Rounding it off then, a little bit of bitterness comes back, a little bit of grapefruit comes back, just to really cleanse the palate, and the aftertaste, to be honest, sweet, a little bit sherbety almost, hint of lemon, not a lot, pretty neutral, and would be a great beer to start with to then go on to bigger and brasher things. It's full flavour, it's properly fresh, good hop content, but it's not going to take away from then going to something of a totally different style, I guess. So, yeah, for me, that is what a pale ale should be. Right then, let's take a look at the can. So, on the front, Blue Monkey, award-winning craft brewery, which is a new tagline, because I guess they can't say this is award-winning because it's only just come out, but they are award-winning. New Zealand Pale Ale, 4.2%, unfiltered and unfined. It says drink fresh, keep cold, and recycle. And of course, you've got to recycle those cans, although some of these are definitely going to end up on that display shelf behind me. It says, once again, New Zealand Pale Ale, 4.2%. Its hops are Motueka, Nelson Sauvin, and Magnum. It's a brewed and canned at Blue Monkey Brewing Limited, which are in Guildford, Nottinghamshire. Ingredients are water, barley, oats, wheat, hops, and yeast. Those oats explains that lovely pillowy mouthfeel. 1.8 UK units in this can. And that is all, except there is a QR code, which I am now going to scan and talk to you about and see what's on there. But I'm going to zoom this in, so you, should you wish, there you go, see if you can pick that up. Let's see how close I can get this before it blurs out. There you go, pause now if you want to scan it. Right then, I've got my phone, so let's have a quick go at this QR code. I may not have enough light in here. Oh, hold on, got it. Where does it go? Well, unsurprisingly, the Blue Monkey website. Just the new Blue Monkey website. I was expecting more info. I think in days to come, when this actually ends up on the website, that will probably be where it takes you to. But right now, that is not the case, unfortunately, because I would like to know a bit more about this, but it's not on the website yet, so that's all I can tell you. However, what I can tell you for certain is that that is a beautifully well balanced New World Pale, and I am very disappointed that I didn't buy more of it yet. So I guess it's on the shopping list. And that really is everything. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you would be so kind. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.